Hey, welcome back, guys. We continue to get the car ready to go racing. I wanted to show you a couple things here. Remember how we built the tranny for this, and whenever I cleaned the old fluid and put it in um, the transmission here, I got an oil fill level that was about right here, and so we started the car up and heat cycled it. Did a few low RPM revs. You bring the RPMs up a little bit and then slowly back off. It pulls oil up onto the rings, helps them seat. It's probably still not ready yet though, so we want to get out and get it up into top gear and bring your RPMs up and just get a lot of back pressure on the motor and pull that oil up and try and get those rings seated. Then we're going to let the motor cool all the way, and then we should be able to race it. So with that said, we put the transmission in gear and let it just at idle, just let the gears turn and let it pump that fluid all through the transmission. So it has to get inside the the input shaft and the counter shaft. That's where the pinion gear goes. Has to get inside there, lubricate all the bearings, fill all the little voids and cracks and crevices. And from doing that, the oil fill level actually moved from being on the stick, which this is the add line. I don't think you're going to be able to see that real good. There we go. That's a little better. That's the add line. That's the max line. So the oil fill level was up to about here. Well, it went completely off the stick. It pulled that much into the transmission. So put about a pint of fluid in it, and it just barely touched the end of the stick here. So kept putting more and more fluid in, more and more fluid in, and it almost took another quart to fill this up. Now you don't ever want to go over max because that oil is going to swell, and whenever it does, it could pop this out. So we don't want that. I actually had one of these come out one time. It's because the fitment was a little loose, and what happens whenever you bend this, let me set this down, if you bend this at about this angle, at about a 90-degree angle, this little rubber piece gets pushed out and that seals it. And then if it would rotate around the back of the case, it could actually go down about that far. And at that point, it over centers, and this actually starts rattling around in the opening. On track, vibration, that's going to come out. So the idea is to get it in there and keep it locked on the case. This little end down here, this will be setting on the case, and that'll get this black part out where it's squeezed out as far as it'll go, and it'll seal it. So what we're going to do to hold that in place, I'm going to drill a small hole on here and on this side right here, and then I'm going to wire tie it down. There's a couple unused bolt holes in the transmission, probably for different applications in the back there, and so what we're going to do is utilize one of those bolt holes. I'll just take a little strap of aluminum and drill a larger hole in it for the bolt to go through, drill a small hole in it, and then I'll put a piece of wire in between the two, so that'll help keep this down and keep it from rotating. It'll hold it solid so it won't rotate around the back of the case and possibly flip over like that, and then this would come out. So what happened when that happened is that popped out. It pumped those gears, they pumped all the fluid out of the transmission. There's maybe a cup out of 2 quarts that this thing holds. There was maybe a cup left, and it totally destroyed the transmission. So that's story number 1. Story number 2 is it's getting harder and harder to find these AC filters. You can't really find the PF52. All you can find is the PF52E, which I think stands for economy or efficiency. And these are a little bit shorter than the standard PF52. And here's our K&N filter that we picked up, and wanted to just show you guys this. If we look at the length of these, there is just a little bit. Let me get the camera down here. I'm trying to do 2 things at once here. Here we go. Okay, so there we go. So it's that much bigger. So it's going to hold a little bit more oil. It's going to have a little bit more filter area. And these 52Es, these don't look anything like the old PF52s, which I think you can still find those, but they're about 15 bucks. I picked this up at Walmart for like $12.50, and I looked at some independent tests and the construction of them. We have a silicone drain back valve to keep it from draining back. You see I already got the oil on there, and they come in a nice they're wrapped in cellophane so no dust or dirt can get in them, get in your motor. And it's got that 1-inch nut on the end. So we're going to try this. Never really ran anything except AC oil filters before, but I've heard good things about this, and that's what we're going to go with. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8 holes there, just like that one. But you can see how that one, that 52E, is just, it looks kind of cheesy. I mean, it's just so cheaply made now. So I think that's what they're doing, is they're just making them cheap because these motors are getting older and the applications are getting older, so there's no sense in sinking a lot of money into them, I guess. At least that would be my theory. So we got the K&N, we're going to give that a try, so hopefully that works out good. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.